We've been thinking about what Día de los Muertos means to the Sacramento community and to all of us this year a lot. Last year our event was in the middle of the pandemic, so we couldn't actually share it together. But obviously, as a lot of families and communities have lost loved ones due to the pandemic, we think this is a really important year for us to actually be able to come together and honor those people who have passed, especially in the Latino community and other communities of color, which has been kind of disproportionately affected by the pandemic. It's a moment for us to kind of acknowledge that and I think maybe do some healing. El Panteón de Sacramento is our Día de los Muertos event. El Panteón is cemetery in Spanish. So what we do here is recreate a kind of traditional small town feel by building a cemetery here at the center. Traditionally, in like the small pueblos of Mexico, family members would go to the cemetery and go to the graves of their loved ones and celebrate there. So we try to create a kind of facsimile of that. Obviously you can't have the actual graves here, but we create that kind of environment with dancers, music, of a small chapel that we've built. And then we have community altars made by family members and community organizations kind of surrounding that. We also have like 3 stages and a mercado with local vendors. We're gonna have some food trucks. The main thing that we think is the draw for us is the cemetery because it's the closest thing we can do to create like a traditional environment for Día de los Muertos. A lot of people do altars in their homes, but then on actual Día de los Muertos, they'll go to the cemetery to celebrate there. So we try to create that. We also like to share Día de los Muertos with the community, and a lot of that is building the altars for people like who might not be familiar with Día de los Muertos to understand what it's about. Because we have this really large space, outdoor space, we're able to bring people together in a safe way this year. So we're gonna have it be a walking event as opposed to last year. It was a driving event, so we had a drive-through. So this year we're hoping to have it even be like a bit more interactive, where people can spend more time with the dancing and the music, more time with each individual altar, and be able to get food and drinks and kind of hang out and kind of ask questions as well. We'll have more information about Día de los Muertos. We'll have some craft tables. Normally, the altars are created for loved ones who have passed, but that's not a hard rule. Often people will make altars for celebrities, public figures that people kind of cherish who have passed. What you would add to the altar was anything that that person might have enjoyed in their life. Bottles of alcohol, food, pastries, along with photos and kind of personal effects that you would put on the altar. Marigold, which we say as cempasúchil in Mexico, which comes from an indigenous language, they're going to be all over many of the altars. We do sell them. We buy a huge order and then sell them to the altar makers. And they're considered the flower of the dead. And it's just another way of honoring the loved ones who have passed. They're a beautiful flower, and so they'll be scattered all over the event. So this is papel picado, which is not just something that would be put up for Día de los Muertos, but most Mexican celebrations would have something like this. Traditionally, they are made of paper, of a very light paper. These ones are plastic. They're all handmade, that we have produced every year for the event. And it's just to add something traditional. So we try to focus on as many aspects of the tradition as we can. All the dancing and music is traditional. Many of it is performed by people who were born in Mexico and have immigrated here. People who might not be familiar with Día de los Muertos, I think the most important thing that we love to share with people is the celebration of death, which might at first be a bit uncomfortable, but we think is actually quite a very beautiful way to honor people who have passed and to take a moment with your family and your community to come together and celebrate. We think it's a nice way to heal and an important message to share with the Sacramento community.